If you're losing more than half of your viewers in the first 30 seconds of your video, chances are you're not connecting with the right audience. And if you're not hooking them right from the start, it's game over for retention. But here's the thing, before you even think about improving your hook, you've got to know who exactly you're talking to. Without a clear viewer avatar, your content will never land with the people who matter most. Let's be perfectly clear. If you're a business owner, you're starting a YouTube channel because you want to make more revenue for your business. And I know exactly where you're at. As the founder of Hampton Law Firm and STR Law Guys, I've started 2 YouTube channels, one of them, Hampton Law Firm, with over 310,000 subscribers and over 17 million views per month. And that channel has generated an additional $2 million a year in revenue for my law firm. And then I have a smaller channel under STR Law Guys in my name, Jeff Hampton, and it doesn't even have 4,000 subscribers, but yet it's still able to generate an additional $30,000 per month in revenue for my business. None of this would have been possible if I didn't get crystal clear on who my viewer is on my channels and who my customer avatar is for my business. And then I needed to make sure that I was speaking their language so that I was able to grow my business revenues. Skip this step and not only will you continue to lose viewers, you won't make any extra revenues from starting your YouTube channel. But watch this video and by the end, you'll have a crystal clear picture of exactly who your viewer and your customer is, which will make your content 10 times more effective and grow your business revenues. Now, many of us know that the first 30 seconds of the video is crucial because this is when you hook the viewer and reel them in so that they'll keep watching your content. So how do we develop a strong hook that attracts the viewers we want to obtain that also match up with our customer avatar for our business? Number 1, understand your audience. The foundation for all of your video content must be based upon your audience. What do they want? What do they need? And what do they enjoy? A strong hook reflects what your core viewers care about. What do they need? What's going to actually grab their attention? This is super easy for me to sit here and talk about in theory, but we really need to put it into practice and show an example of how to get it done. Welcome Wealthy Wendy to the video, the perfect viewer avatar and customer avatar for my asset protection law firm, where we focus at STR Law Guys on helping rental property owners protect their properties from lawsuits. Wealthy Wendy is a 35-year-old professional, short on time, but looking for direct and to-the-point valuable content to help her feel at ease. She's driven by success and efficiency, which means my hook needs to be direct and to the point. Number 2, develop your hook and your content based upon the stage of your viewer in the journey. For example, are most of your viewers just starting out and they're novices, they're beginners and don't really know what you're about or what your content is about? Or are you so niche and covering high-level concepts that usually you're looking at more mid-level to expert viewers for your content? Beginners will always want clearer, more basic, and guided instructions. Experienced viewers might prefer a fast, value-packed approach where you jam as much value-added content as you can within a single video without too much worry about covering basic concepts. Number 3, language and tone. You really need to make sure you match your language with what your audience is going to connect with. For Wealthy Wendy, the language I use should likely be professional, but yet accessible, showing her that I care and value her time. I should use a polished, but not overly complex tone when I speak to Wealthy Wendy. You should also make sure that any storytelling that you do mirrors your viewer's world, overlapping any analogies or metaphors that would clearly resonate with your specific audience. Number 4, pain points and solutions. This is critical. You must address the viewer's pain points right away at the very beginning of your video. For example, maybe Wealthy Wendy is seeking efficient financial advice. If so, you might lead with something like this. Struggling to balance your books without losing your mind? A statement like that would immediately resonate with Wealthy Wendy. Number 5, entertainment or instruction. Make sure that your content lines up with your audience's desire to either be entertained or to be educated. Sometimes, in certain niches, you can combine those two, and it's known as edutainment, where you can entertain people a little bit, but yet you're also clearly educating them and highlighting your expertise. Because remember, at the end of the day, the goal here is to educate your viewer so that if they have a pain point that you can provide from your business, they're going to trust you and hire you to help. Number 6, timing and platforms. It's really important to know how your viewer is consuming your content. People that are on the go and they're watching your content on their phone, they may prefer a faster, quicker, directly to the point hook. But other people who maybe are watching your content on TV, yes, looking at YouTube on TV, they may prefer and they don't mind a bigger build-up leading in to provide more context. I learned this lesson about 6 months ago with my Hampton Law YouTube channel. With over 17 million views per month, I was a little surprised to learn that 60 to 65% of the watch time from my channel was coming from a television. Knowing the platform that people are watching my content through helped me understand the context from which they were receiving my content, which also allowed me to kind of elaborate and make longer videos because people were willing to watch them longer. Okay, so we all know at the heart of any great storytelling and great video making, it's all about who we are talking to and who our audience is. So let's get very specific here and show how to do this with our example we use, the avatar Wealthy Wendy. So how did I come to this? Well, I was able to come up with this specific example because I knew the type of customers that were coming to STR Law Guys. I knew that, generally speaking, I was dealing with the female. I was spending more time, 75 to 80% of the time, talking to the female in the family. And yes, normally, here's the avatar, Wealthy Wendy, 35 years old, female, married, normally with 2 kids, maybe 2 children anywhere between 8 and 14. And she is the primary decision maker on this asset protection issue. Why? Because she is the one that is most fearful of being sued in a lawsuit. I also dove deep and started to look and see what type of professions the people that I worked with at STR Law Guys were involved in. And generally speaking, they were usually higher up in their companies. So maybe the average person, when you look at Wealthy Wendy, would be somebody like an accountant who's maybe the vice director at her firm, earns maybe $120,000 to $150,000 a year annually, and that's just her income. And because her husband also works, their normal average salary runs at least $250,000 per year. These basic traits tell me a lot about Wealthy Wendy's life. She's extremely busy. She's trying to balance a growing career with a growing family. Her time is limited and she values efficiency. Her job title shows me that she's detail-oriented and financially savvy, but because of all the demands on home and work, she many times gets overwhelmed and she just wants to make sure things are sorted out because if they're not, she feels stressed. Having a demographic understanding of Wealthy Wendy is just the beginning. Now we need to go deeper. We need to develop a psychographic understanding of our customer and viewer avatar. So now we're talking about not just what Wealthy Wendy is. We're now talking about who she is. Her goals, her fears, and her aspirations will be exactly the doorway for you to connect with her in your content. So I'm going to go through Wealthy Wendy's profile because I already did this previously, and I'm going to walk you through what some of those are. So number 1, her goals. Her goals is she strives for professional success while maintaining a healthy family balance. She's most likely interested in content that helps her manage her time, helps her streamline her processes, and still be available to show up for her kids. What about her challenges, though, and her pain points? Well, one of the things when I've analyzed this, and I've had lots of conversations with customers that I deal with, and the comments that I see on my own videos for this particular channel, one of the things I learned is that Wealthy Wendy feels the pressure of being perfect. She wants to be perfect not only for her kids, but she wants to be perfect in her business, which means she's likely time poor and has a tendency to suffer from burnout. So what should we do? We should offer content that appeals to time efficiency and helping her remember that she has solutions to avoiding that burnout. But what about her objections? Because Wendy is extremely busy, she's going to object to wasting any time on content that she feels is not value rich. Finally, how would Wendy actually watch my content? This is where you start digging a little bit deeper and you find out that sometimes she will watch the content on the go. So podcasts she would consume in her car listening on her phone. But when she's at home maybe eating dinner or she's as a break from the kids on the weekend, I began to learn that she would also watch this content on television. So what does all of this add up to? I'm now going to give you examples of storytelling for wealthy Wendy. Concept number 1 would be a time-saving hack for working moms. Do you ever feel like you're constantly on the clock? Whether you're at work, crunching numbers, or maybe you're trying to gather snacks or take your kids to soccer practice. I used to feel like I was drowning between dealing with client deadlines and trying to rush to make it home for my kids' soccer events. But then I found a simple time blocking method that changed everything for me. Let me show you how it saved me a minimum of 5 hours per week. Now I want you to notice how this hook speaks directly to wealthy Wendy. Number 1, it addresses the issue that she has, which is balancing her work life and home. It also is immediately relatable to her and instantly addresses her pain point of time management. So when you know who your viewer avatar is, when you know who your customer avatar is, you're able to speak their language. This is classic top shelf marketing copywriting here, and you've got to know who your audience is. Finally, by showing empathy for her situation and then providing her a solution, she feels that you actually care about what's going on in her life, and she appreciates the fact you streamlined and were very direct with a solution to a pain point she has right now. Okay, we're going to do one more example for the wealthy Wendy avatar. And here I'm going to talk about the title concept, or the video concept is going to be the ultimate guide to stress-free tax season. The reason why this is, remember, wealthy Wendy is a professional. She doesn't have time to do her taxes, and as an accountant, she gets overwhelmed with tax season because she's going to miss out on the rest of her family. So let's start off with the opening. I'll then transfer into the story and the hook, and we'll talk a little bit about how the message is effective. It's that time of year again, tax season. For most people, it's extremely stressful. For me, an accountant, it can be downright chaotic. But I have figured out a way to get through it and keep my sanity in the process, and I'm going to share it with you. 3 years ago, I nearly missed my daughter's big recital because I was buried in tax returns. I knew something had to change. I'm going to give you my foolproof system to keep tax season stress-free so that you can focus on what really matters. So here we know, of course, Wendy's profession makes tax season extremely relevant, right? So we know who we're going after. This would be extremely effective if someone's trying to really talk about issues related to the accounting field. So maybe it's a marketing company or someone really trying to get out there and get information to other CPAs. So this resonated with her also because the emotional draw of missing out on her kids' functions because she couldn't manage her time. So why does all of this matter? It is critical. Once you establish who your viewer avatar is, who your customer avatar is, you must craft your entire script, you must craft your hook, you must craft your title, and yes, even your thumbnail to match your viewer avatar. If you get everything else right, but you get this wrong, you've missed everything. And the reason why I'm telling you that is because as a business owner, I didn't create a YouTube channel to go viral. I know people who have less than 200 subscribers, and yet they're obtaining $50,000, $60,000, $80,000 a month or more by what they're able to do by direct messaging and knowing their viewer avatar through their YouTube videos. By shaping stories that reflect your viewer avatar's world, you're showing that you relate to them, you care for them, and equally important, you have solutions to make their life better. This connection makes it far more likely that wealthy Wendy is going to stick around, not only past the first 30 seconds, but a very good chance she'll continue to watch minutes and minutes into your video and maybe even click down into your description and decide she might want to work with you. Understanding and targeting the right audience is everything on YouTube. Once you've nailed who you're speaking to, from that moment forward, start tailoring all of your hooks to their pain points, their desires, their frustrations, their needs, and make sure and speak directly to them. So maybe you're a business owner and you haven't started your YouTube channel yet. I want to invite you to click down in the description section and click on the link to receive the free guide on how you can transform your business through the power of YouTube in as little as 90 days. Speaking of hooking your viewers to watch your videos, did you know that in addition to actually targeting who your audience is, which we covered today, did you know that there is a specific strategy you can use to hook your viewers to not only start watching, but continue to watch? Check out this next video where I break down the secrets of setting up a perfect hook for your viewer so that it will help not only grow your channel, but also grow your business revenues. See you over there.